this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. And don't forget to check out my website, paradxastrology.com. I can help you with anything. And if you like exclusive videos that I don't post on YouTube and want to support this channel, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. You really support this channel. Thank you. Let's get into this video. Okay, we're going to talk about Mars transit in Punarvasu, which is on April 21st. Now, Mars was in Ardara, and Ardara is a storm. That's why we saw a lot of storms and a lot of things that happened around the world that have to do with either storms with air or storms with water. And there are still going to be some storms as Jupiter goes into Aries and a lot of other placements which will cause this. Punarvasu comes after Ardara, and that means wealthy again. That also has to do with a quiver of arrows about hitting a target. Mars is enemies with Mercury, and Mercury is actually in Mars's sign. So we have two people who don't feel good in the positions they're in because they're enemies. And so that's causing a lot of conflict. Now, there's going to be a lot of action taken towards things that have to do with wealth, that have to do with money, paper money, because that's Mercury. A lot of transformation and change. Mercury will be going retrograde in Bharani nakshatra, and then it will slightly go into Ashwini. It'll be retrograde until the 14th of May. Then it'll go slightly in Ashwini. So mostly it's in Bharani, which indicates a huge transformation. If you study Western astrology and you're wondering what that means, the same energy as Pluto. It's death and transformation. So there's a huge transformation happening with the way we communicate, the way we trade money, the way we do business, and the internet. Regulations of the internet. So when Mars is in Punarvasu, it's an expert at taking the money from others, taking the wealth spontaneously, aggressively of others in the way it wants to do it, in an egotistical type way. This also amplifies things that have to do with war over wealth, and this also has to do with real estate. Tara Devi is the goddess that represents Punarvasu, which is the goddess of knowledge, compassion, and protection. So the protection of people's wealth could be compromised at this time, or it could be a complete transformation into digital instead of paper money, but it also brings up these questions of, is it protected? Is it safe? Is our money safe? It could be literal hitting the target with Mars when it has to do with war, or it has to do with aggression activities. That could be like weapons hitting a target. Punarvasu has to do with renewal and after the storm and regeneration, endless new beginnings, and coming back safe after a mission. This could escalate the war. This could escalate people on these missions where they can't come home safe right now. It's to gain or retrieve objects. So some people could have the courage to go and gain something back that they lost. And this could give people the courage and the spontaneousness to just go do it. But this also could be a grabbing of what others have. Maybe there is some kind of housing crisis that happens, or to do with the housing market and houses are taken back. That could very well happen as well. It could be a new beginning that causes some others to be angry, like this isn't the new beginning that they really wanted. It has a lot to do with movement and searching, and this will be very fast moving. Whatever this is will be very fast moving and searching for new beginnings. Yeah, normally it would bring a sense of bringing things back to renewal after the storm. But because of this, there's going to be maybe a lot of action of cleaning up after a storm. Punarvasu likes to just be, and Mars likes to do and get everything done right away. So there's going to be some people who were at peace that maybe don't feel that peace right now. But because it likes to just be, sometimes it can be lazy, right? So if you have certain placements in here and you were feeling a little bit lazy about finding your purpose or hitting that mark, hitting that goal, this will actually give you that energy to go for it. All of a sudden, you'll have that motivation. It belongs to the merchant class. So this is going to have to do with a lot of people who have businesses that thought things could just be the way they were, but now something comes in to change that. This has to do with trade, salespeople, artisans, fairy tale writers, any astrology or esoteric subjects. Anything to do with travel, tourism will be affected at this time. Hotel, restaurant industry, especially when Mars goes retrograde, there's always problems with transportation, travel, communication, internet, all things to do with that. Monks, gurus will have a certain issue. We've seen some spiritual leaders because of Jupiter have some problems. Farmers, cattle, sheep, architects, house construction. There could be people who are going towards constructing more houses, but there could also be problems with that. Home delivery, Uber, Lyft, ones like that. Telephone industry, the post office, newspapers. I don't know if we have newspapers anymore, but just saying. Aviators, astronauts. So usually there's problems in airports, communication going down, flights delayed, major problems with that. A satellite profession, there could be satellites coming down, there could be satellites going up, problems with satellites, fires on satellites, problems with traveling, exploring, and this is not good for borrowing or lending money. Some may have a problem getting money back, money that is in the bank. Maybe there's some problems with the banks, but Mercury in Bharani has a sense of things that have to transform. So it's roughly translated into bearing, or the one who bears. It's represented by the yoni, is the ultimate creation, the one that can create life. Now, it's going to look at things that aren't sustainable and what's sustainable, what has to die, what can go on. This really could have to do with just everything with the financial industry. It also has to do with jealousy and caution, with secrecy, things that are forbidden, things that are taboo, struggle, sacrifice, sexuality, nurturing, motherly love. In the Egyptian civilization, this had to do with the buckle of Isis, which is seen as the doorway between two different worlds. So it's almost like we're going from one world to another. We're completely changing. Everything that Mercury has to do has to change. We are creating a new world, which is almost like a digital world. There will be changes, huge changes with the internet, especially in Canada. There could be new regulations of the internet because that's kind of almost considered the new world. Everything digital, AI, things like that. So there's a huge transformation occurring right now, especially this is happening right after the eclipse. Its other symbol is the boat, which is the transportation in between the two worlds. So what is going to transport us between these worlds? What is going to bring us there? This is represented by Kali, right? And Kali can be very destructive, but Kali is here to destroy the demon. So there's going to be a fight. This is not going to end without a fight and without certain destructions. This could also be death from transportation or planes going down. And also having to do with war, because this is the nakshatra, which is the battlefield. It also tries to break taboos and norms. So everything that we thought is normal is changing. And I think people are seeing that in the world, that this is literally breaking the way we did things. This could also have to do with vehicles and how vehicles are transported, maybe like more electric vehicles and things of that nature, but they don't go well, or there's some injuries with that. So the professions that this Mercury retrograde will affect has to do with babysitters, nannies, nurses, anything involving children, any profession involving children, anything to do with gynecologists, midwives, anything connected with birth and death, fertility clinics, children's toy industry, morticians, morgues, funerals, like this could be literal death as well. Homicide detectives, tobacco, coffee, tea industry, death records. Maybe there's something off about that. People lose death records. People are losing records in general. Like, where did they go? Slaughterhouses, veterinarians, firefighters, automobile industry, motorsport industry, petroleum industry, surgeons, film industry, photographers, anything with sex and glamour, strippers, pornography industry, tantrics, judges, any elite professions that need supreme secrecy. There could be some volcano and earthquake activity as well. Seed and fertilizer industry. So this is favorable for warlike activities. Things that were secret will come out. Secrets will definitely come out during the retrograde. Things that people wanted to hide for a long time and thought that they could. Maybe about their wealth, maybe about how much money they have or money they've taken from others will be exposed. And this is very spontaneous and happening out of nowhere that you didn't expect. So that's just a little brief about Mars Mercury. And I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.